Alright folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Pleasure to see you, it always is. Hope we're doing well. Brand new tournament for us this week, and what a tournament we've got as well. I mean, none other than the Monte-Carlo Masters. I can't wait for this, should be a cracker. Got quite a few games to touch on today. Shouldn't take too long. You know what I always say, it is the first round. You've just got to see who wants to be here and who doesn't. So we'll waste no time in getting into these. Before we do, like the video for me if you would. Get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you're not, I'd appreciate it if you did. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description and the pinned comments, along with the pics and the timestamps. There's a couple outrights in there for you as well, as always. Just quickly on the outrights, I've took 4, decent price for all of them. Like I said, pinned comment. First one, Stefanos Tsitsipas. Number 2, Casper Ruud. Actually, no, I went for 3. Number 3, big price. Massive price. These are all each way too. Artifice, 60 to 1. I couldn't say no to that. I couldn't. Let me know who you're going for. They're all each way too. So for those that don't know, if you do that each way, look, ideally you want them to win the whole thing. That'd be great. But even if they don't, all they need to do really is get to the final. And if they get to the final and they get beat, you'll still come away with half the price. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what we can do. Who've we got? First off, quite a few decent ones here, haven't we? Right, okay. Very well, folks. First off, today we've got Lehecka, Sebastian Korda. It's treating us here, aren't we? We've got some really good ones. This doesn't seem like a first round whatsoever. It really doesn't. Played each other, you'd say twice before. One of them was a walkover, so realistically they've played each other just once before. The start of last season over in Adelaide, that was 6-2, 6-1 for Lehecka on the hard court. Now straight off the bat, as soon as I seen this game on paper, you'd look at it and you'd go, oh yeah, Lehecka. Next. But let's just hang on a minute. Let's just slow our roll just for a moment. I mean, it's no secret to us, Lehecka started the season, pretty much throughout the entirety of the season, playing some of the best tennis that there's been. You can't deny that. He was off to an absolute flyer. You know, he was the guy to beat, you could say. You know, he beat Alcaraz, didn't he? He was that good. He was playing that good. He ran into Alcaraz over in Doha, and he got past him 2-1. And then he bumped into Jack Draper, and I don't know what's happened to him. I really don't. He got beat by Jack Draper. Then he played Ugo Humbert, got smoked by him. He then played Cam Norrie, couldn't beat Cam Norrie, and then he couldn't beat Gael Monfils. Safe to say, Lehecka, the last 4 games, not even the last 4, he was fairly decent against Jack Draper. You know, Draper was just on, he was on fire those couple of weeks, was he not? I don't know, I feel like you play so well, and then you run into someone like Draper, and you know, you come out of it feeling like, oh my god, there's nothing I can do. They pin you up against Humbert, which, you know, you could say it's probably easy is not that fair. You know, are there any easy games at this level? But at the time, you'd say it was probably slightly easier than playing Jack Draper, but at the same time, it was very, very similar. Just couldn't do nothing. And then even the Cam Norrie game in the Indian Wells, he probably should have won that. Just couldn't. Same against Monfils. What's happened to him? What's happened to Lehecka, man? What has Jack Draper done to this lad? Although Sebastian Korda, you know, he's been struggling for form so far this year, you have to admit. Last time out in Miami was probably the best run, or one of them anyway, close to it, probably the best we've seen him play all season. Spizzeri, Tsitsipas, Monfils, bumped into Djokovic in the quarters and got beat there. No shame in that. I don't know, man, it's a rough one. I want to take Lehecka. I think he's the better player, no doubt. He's still had the better season too. He's still had the better season, even though he seems to be struggling at the moment. But with that being said, you have to admit Sebastian Korda, from what we've seen more recently, he probably has looked a little bit more promising. I'd probably just take Sebastian Korda for a set. I'm not so sure how Lehecka is gonna turn up. I'm not. Providing he's good to go, we probably beat Sebastian Korda, maybe in straight sets. I'm not too sure. Fairly decent on the clay when his game's going. Sebastian Korda has never really done anything special over on the surface, so you can see why I'm quite torn between the two. But we'll move on anyway. Something a little bit more interesting. Got Marcus Giron and El Chapo. Yeah. We like this one. We seen this one not that long ago. That was in Mexico, to be precise. The head-to-head was 2-0 up until about a month or two. El Chapo got that one done in 3 sets. Marcus Giron winning the only meeting on the clay. That was 6-2, 6-2, 7-5 rather. That was last year, around the same time. That was over in Houston. Completely different courts. Although they are clay, completely different surface than the ones over here in Monaco. It's a tough one. Neither of these fancy the clay, do they? Neither of them have ever done anything on this surface. Not much anyway. Yeah, 5 and 6 last year for Chapo, 3 and 8 for Marcus Giron. You get me point. Are you getting El Chapo around 1.5? 1.5, that's a decent favourite, considering both of them are pretty shit on the clay. They seem pretty certain that he's going to get this one done. I know Chapo's a better player. I'd just say, even if both of these brought the best today over in Monte Carlo, I'd fancy Chapo to just be able to figure this out on the fly and get past Marcus Giron once again. He's been playing a lot better than him this year. A lot better. I don't know. Maybe there's not a lot more to be said. I just think Chapo will do him. 12 and 6 on the. Well, then again, I say he's been a lot better. He's just played better. I think the record would suggest otherwise. 12 and 6 for Chapo. 10 and 6 for Marcus Giron. I don't know. Considering they've got fairly similar records there on the overall, I think the level that we've had from Chapo this year has been a lot better than what we've had from Marcus Giron, providing he can bring it. I think Chapo gets this one done. Although neither of them have done anything in the past to suggest either can do anything on this surface. So maybe it's going to be an absolute shitfest. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But I'd fancy Chapo to get that one done. We'll move on to Stan Wawrinka. Alejandro Tabilo. No idea. Your instinct would just to be take Stan Wawrinka, I suppose, but I could not do it. I could not do it going off what I've just seen over in Bucharest. Alright, at this point in your career, it's nothing to complain about and it's nothing to be ashamed of, but Stan Wawrinka played one game in Romania and was absolutely fucked for the next one. Alright, it was a long one. 3 sets against Timothy Skatov. And then Pedro Martinez is still playing crap as well. This is what's concerning me. Because we know Martinez is good on the clay. I thought maybe, is he going to turn it round and start getting some wins? No. Couldn't even play against the Miyajima. Yeah, I don't like that. Alejandro Tabilo hasn't had the best season, to say the least. 2 and 9. Fuck, that's poor. That's really bad. He's went 0 and 4 on the clay as well. You wouldn't have expected that. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this is the one. This is the snapback for Alejandro Tabilo. Jensen Brooksby's just won that title. I think. Did he win the title? I don't know. But anyway, Jensen Brooksby has made the final. He may have. I'm pretty sure he did. One sec. Yeah. He just beat Tiafoe in the final over in Houston 6-4, 6-2. Tabilo probably give him the best go out of anyone that week. Tabilo, Tommy Paul, probably one of them. So I don't know. Even though he's struggling lately, he still plays well. He needs to get a grip of whatever goes on up here and just close some of these games out, and he'd win a lot more than he loses. I'm surprised he's had quite that bad of a start on this surface. Tabilo really likes the clay. I don't know, I'd be going with him, I'd be taking him. I'm not so convinced that Wawrinka's got anything left. I don't. He just got worse and worse as that match went on against Pedro Martinez, and it was only a couple of days ago. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Neither of them have been in the best of form. Probably say you've seen more from Wawrinka as far as results, but I couldn't touch it. So we'll move on to we got Felix. We got Felix and Daniel Altmaier. Head to head, 1-0 to Daniel Altmaier. Start of last season, straight sets. A tiebreaker in the first and 7-5 in the second. Over in Auckland. Start of the season on the hard court. Same stuff in it. Every time we speak about Daniel Altmaier, we know what we're gonna get. We know what we're gonna get on the clay. If he can bring it, providing he can bring it, we usually see somewhat of the best version of Daniel Altmaier on this surface. Felix Auger-Aliassime quite decent on it too. 17-8 last year, 1-3 the year before. Yeah, it's a bit worrying. What do we do in this one? What do you do in this one? Felix has had one hell of a season so far. Altmaier, very 50-50, 12 wins, 13 losses, 17-7 for the Canadian. Who's the better player? Felix. Who's been better all year? Felix. Who probably wins this one? 9 times out of 10 you'd say Felix Auger-Aliassime. But what do I say every time, folks? 1.3, 1.4. Yeah, you're probably saying it yourself by now. That is the price you have to pay for Felix to destroy your bet. It happens more often than not. If you're new to the channel, you might be thinking to yourself, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Just heed the warning. He does not function well around this price. He really doesn't. I know that should have nothing to do with the overall performances, but you look at the games that he shits away, and he's always around this price every time. It's always the games that you think, yeah, he's definitely going to win this, and he'll probably lose it in straight sets. We've seen it happen so many times before. He hasn't played on the clay so far this season. Daniel Altmaier has played 3 games. He's went 2-1. Probably doesn't mean much. I don't know, I'm not going to be touching it, obviously, but I'd maybe have a little sprinkle on the spread with Daniel Altmaier. It's going to be around 3.5. Maybe just buy a point with 4.5. You'll still get more or less the same as what you will with Felix on the money line. I need to see how he turns up and how he plays and how he transitions to the clay before I do anything with Auger-Aliassime. So we'll crack on with the next one. We've got Gael Monfils and Fabian Marozsan. I'd be going with Fabian Marozsan at this point, Fuck it, why not? Odds are split right down the middle. Head to head is 1 apiece. We see Monfils beat him over in Miami not that long ago, and then the start of last season went the way of Fabian Marozsan. Both of them have been very, very tight games. Monfils. If only this was the hard court, it would make it so much fucking easier, but it's not. It's the clay. And you don't need me to tell you that Monfils is just fucking garbage on the clay. He is. You wouldn't believe it. Going off how well this fella plays on the hard court, you'd watch the way he plays on this surface and you'd go, no way, that's the same player. That's like it looks like his stupid brother or something. I don't know. What do we do here? I mean, it's the same every time with Monfils. I hate going against him. I love watching him. I love that guy so much. I hate going against Monfils because you know how good he is. And you know what he can do on the day, especially early doors in these tournaments is probably, it's the best time to take him. Fabian Marozsan looked really good in qualifying. 10 times better than I expected him to look. Annihilated Zizou Bergs. And I tell you what, 6-2 and then a tiebreaker against Zizou Bergs. Very good performance. And if he fucks Zizou Bergs up, what did he do to Matteo Bellucci? 6-1, 6-2. Cardboard cutout tennis. You're playing against a fucking phantom there, aren't you? Like, what is that? Great stuff from Marozsan there. It's no mercy. No mercy tennis. You love to see it. Just playing like that the past couple days. Last season weren't too great. He went 6-9 on the clay, but the 3 seasons before that, he was on an absolute tear. 34-13, 31-12, 33-16. I think Fabian Marozsan's probably won more games of tennis on the clay in the past 2 or 3 seasons than what Gael Monfils has won in his entire life. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I wouldn't be going anywhere near Monfils. I'll be watching it. It'd be great to see him win, as it always is, but I'm not so sure what he's got to offer over here at Monte Carlo. I mean, if Fabian Marozsan can keep playing the way he did in qualifying, he will definitely be a force to be reckoned with. I'd say he'll take a couple of names this week. Mark my words. We'll wait and see. But next up, we've got a. Where's me? Drink 1 sec. Excuse me, if you will. Who've we got here? I've got Musetti. Got old Lorenzo and Honey Boo Boo. We've seen this one. When was this? Oh, no, it was last year in Beijing. Boo got this one done quite convincingly on the hard court, 6-2, 6-4. Safe to say, the version of Boo that we've seen this year is not so much like the version of Boo that we got around that time in Beijing last year. 7-11 so far on the season. He's went 2-2 on the clay. Now, to my surprise, he's already had a better start on the clay than what he has the hard court, and considering he's basically never touched the clay court in his life, that is quite surprising to me. Now, although we beat Musetti on the hard court last year, you have to admit, I highly doubt that he's going to beat Musetti over on the clay. Now, I don't know. We've got a very, very small sample size on this surface for Boo at the moment. Like I said the other week, Boo could be one of the greatest clay players that we've got on the tour, and we just don't know it yet, and neither does he. That is very possible. You can't say it's not. I'd be willing to bet I'm wrong in this spot, though, because you can be one of the best clay players on the tour, and you'll still get beat by Lorenzo Musetti on the day. He's very, very good. Very good on this surface. Tends to play well over here as well, you know, round of 16 last year, quarter final before that, round of 16 before that. Look, what do I always say about Musetti? And I mean, this is not personal, this is no disrespect. From a business point of view, this is perfect for me because I know exactly where to stand with him. He's just a perfect 50-50 player. He is the most consistent, inconsistent player we've got on the tour. He'll win one, he'll lose one, he'll win two, he'll lose one. It's fairly simple. It's fairly simple with Musetti. I know exactly what I'm going to get early doors in a tournament like this. I would assume he is good to go. Hasn't played a game yet on the clay this season, has he? He went 1-0, excuse me. He went 1-0, that was in Argentina, okay. Boo has just beat... Who's he just beaten qualifying? Fucking... yeah. Mr. Budweiser, Budkov Kiar, whatever his name is. And then straight set against Albert Ramos Vinales, 6-4, 6-4. Decent win, you know. Some would have made it a lot more convincing than that, I would have imagined. Whether he needed to, probably didn't. But I don't know. I feel like Boo is going to have to bring a lot more than what he's had in qualifying to get past Musetti. But I could be wrong. Musetti will be coming back onto the clay after playing over in the States. Boo has got a couple games under the belt already this week, so that could stand for something. Musetti's 1.2, that's a huge fucking favourite. That's a huge favourite, maybe not. Maybe not. I do think he wins, but I will not be touching Musetti at 1.2. I will wait and see. Who we got next? Alexander Muller, Ugo Carabelli. It's going to be short and sweet, this one. Odds are split down the middle. Slight favourite leaning towards Alexander Muller in this one. 1.7, 1.8. I think it's safe to say we know what we're going to get from both of these players. More so Ugo Carabelli, you know, he loves the clay. Absolutely loves the clay. Alexander Muller definitely prefers it too. 5-4 this year. Carabelli 17-6. Although we've seen a lot more on the surface from Carabelli, I can't help but think Alexander Muller is just a little bit better. I think he's just a little bit better overall, you know. Hasn't been in the greatest of form. He's won 4 of his last 10. To be fair, that's not that great. And the opponents too. I mean, James McCabe, Constant Lestienne, Sakamoto, Hugo Deline. It's whatever. It's whatever. I mean, Ugo Carabelli's got one against Medvedev, Gaston, Alex Michelsen. Yeah, they're probably a little bit better, are they not? Tough one to call. You know what I always say, you pay your money, you take your choice with that one. It probably goes over, but then again, it could easily just go under. There's no certainty here, especially with it being the first round, folks. If anyone's 100% certain that something's going to happen, you need to have a word with yourself. You really do. Fuck knows, anything can happen. Anything can happen in these early days of these tournaments. Just like on that one, I'd fancy either one for a set. Would you lean more towards Muller, more towards Ugo Carabelli? I'm not so sure. I think Ugo Carabelli looked alright against Medvedev, didn't he? 7-5, 6-4, that's a solid win. Muller got beat last time out against Kamil Majerak, didn't he? But he played really good too. I don't know. This is anyone's. Not going to bother with it anymore. We've wasted too much time on that one. How many more have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 left, folks. 4 left. We're over halfway now. You can we're getting there. We're almost there. We can see the head. Not much longer. If you're still watching, you're not subscribed, what are you fucking playing at? Hey, are you for real? Do yourself a favour. Get yourself involved. We do go all day, every day, over here on the tennis. As soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers as well, my plan is to just start live streaming pretty much not all the matches, but pretty much every day. A couple of them, especially once we get into like the knockout stages, deeper into the tournaments. I just want to start live streaming all them. I'm looking forward to doing it. But until then, for now, we've got Mariano Navone, Matteo Berrettini. Head-to-heads 1-0 to Berrettini. That was around this time last year over in Marrakesh. I was just going to say, who remembers how good Berrettini was last year on the clay? Who remembers it? We were just taking him every day, weren't we? He fucked everybody up. There you go, 15-1. I wouldn't have said it was that good, but yeah, apparently it was. 15-1 last year. Destroyed everyone. Navone 27-14, fairly decent. Very tough to beat is Mariano Navone on the clay. We'll give him that. He's very, very good. Fairly decent in qualifying too. He got past Sengen and he got past Artur Rinderknech in 3. Berrettini last time out, he got beat by Taylor Fritz in the quarterfinals of Miami. Let's just give it to him. He's been playing well, has he not? Berrettini's been good this year, man. Yeah, well, he's played a lot better recently, I'd say, than what he started at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 of his last 10. So he's most definitely started to turn it around ever since around Doha, Dubai, was it? Something like that. He's only getting beat by like the real informed ones in the tournaments too. Tsitsipas twice, Taylor Fritz in Miami. No shame in that. Now you'd look at this and your instinct would be to say, Navone is probably the better hardcore, the better clay player. Probably more trustworthy as far as consistency. That is definitely his preferred surface. I'd say Berrettini's just all terrain. It doesn't really matter where he plays. If he's fit, his game suits the majority of surfaces. It really does. He's so powerful. So powerful, providing he can get that forehand off. You know, he's got a massive serve as well. These courts over here in Monte-Carlo aren't exactly the quickest, so maybe some of the pace will inevitably scrub off. But I'm seeing nothing but a Berrettini winning this, you know. I do. Even if it comes down to the finest of margins and the two of them turn up playing the best you've ever played. How was I going to pronounce that? I don't know. Matteo Berrettini is he's a solid fucking player, man. He is. He's solid. He's done a lot more than Mariano Navone, and I expect a lot more from Matteo Berrettini than what I do from Mariano Navone. I know the player that's in there, and he definitely beats the player like Navone. He does. He'll just be a little bit too much for him. I don't know. The pace v the power, who are you going for? I imagine Berrettini gets this one done. 1.5, 1.6. I think that's alright. I think that's alright. We could be in for a long one, but he should be able to get that one done and see it out. Next one, we've got, well. Got Daniel Medvedev, Khachanov. Head to head is 6-2 to Medvedev. We've seen this one quite a lot throughout the seasons. The one time that these were played on the clay was last year in this very tournament. Would you believe that? Monte-Carlo 2024, Khachanov straight set 6-3, 7-5. Aye. You know, fucking, what was he calling himself? Klaverdev? Yeah, Klaverdev didn't turn up for that one, did he? I don't know. I still don't know where to stand with Daniel Medvedev at this point. It's the start of April, and I'm still questioning whether he's like, you know, whether he's going to turn up and be serious, or whether he just, you know, I don't want to use the phrase doesn't care anymore, but it does seem that way sometimes. It's like he's just so unserious, and it seems like those days are coming more often than not for our Medvedev. Not only just Medvedev, it seems to be a, like, I'm going to be careful saying this, you know, it just seems to be a Russian thing, doesn't it? You know, I don't want, like, Putin to fucking drone strike me or anything, but they've all just been fucking crap, haven't they? Rublev, alright, he got that one title, but even before and ever since, he's been fucking crap. Medvedev's been well under par. Khachanov's been fucking crap. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Strange, very, very strange. Because all of them on the day, all three of them on the day, you know, Medvedev, Khachanov and Rublev, these are all fantastic players that, you know, pretty much every area of the game, they're all brilliant. But something's just, I don't know. It's like they've all come together and just went, you know what, boys, we're just not going to fucking try this season. I don't know what it is. So if you can't trust Medvedev, you can't trust Khachanov. I know Medvedev's a better player, the head-to-head would have you believe that. It's a fact. It's a fact, and you don't need to overthink that one. Medvedev is definitely better than Khachanov. But doesn't matter how much you believe who's the better player in this one. Mark my words, we'll come to this match tomorrow, we'll watch it, there'll be no winner. There'll be no winner in this match. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of them. Pay your money, take your choice. It probably goes over. But at the same time, if either one of these just gets drilled like 6-1, 6-2, you'd go, oh well, I sort of expected it. So I approach that with severe caution. Two more is that next one. Oh, quickest one of the day. Should have started with this. Fognini, Cerundolo, dead easy. 1.09. I'm past the point, well past the point of betting on Fabio Fognini, although he did win this tournament back in 2019. That was probably the last time you could have trusted this guy. Quarter-final 2021, second round 2022, first round exit 2025 coming up. Cerundolo will absolutely beast this guy tomorrow, mark my words. And then wrapping us up, just touching on half an hour, but that's alright. We've got Davidovich Fokina, Ben Shelton. What a game. What a game to close us out with, eh? What's going to happen in this one? I'm asking you, what's going to happen in this one? Like, I fucking don't know. You want to pick? You want my opinion? I think Davidovich Fokina is going to beat him. There, I'll do. 1.5, well, 1.6 rather, 1.6, 1.65 for Davidovich Fokina. It was crap last year on the clay, 2-5 for the Spaniard there. Safe to say, you know, he's never really done well. You're going back to 2019 before he had a really, really good season on the clay. That was 28-15. You know, he's really struggled to replicate that sort of clay form in the previous years. Albeit, though, it's still been a lot more than what Ben Shelton has shown us since 2021. 17-14 since the start. That's not too bad considering, you know, he wouldn't exactly claim to be a clay specialist, far from it. 8-4 last year, 4-8 the year before that. He's on a 4-game losing streak. 4-game losing streak. Jack Draper fucking smoked him. He then got beat by Wong. He's been playing in that Ultimate Tennis Showdown. He's been beat by Rublev 3-1. Don't know how the sets work over there. I don't even know what that is. Is that even real? Are they like fake games or I don't know. It's over in France, isn't it? I'm not too sure. And he's been beat by Alexei Popyrin as well. Look, it's one thing. Like, he's been alright. He's been alright, Ben Shelton, fairly decent. You know, we're not in the States anymore, so we kind of know what to expect from him. Not getting past Jack Draper at Indian Wells, no one did. Getting beat by Wong in Miami. Alright, probably didn't see that one coming. Now, even though I've just said these really mean nothing to me and how much weight they hold, I'm not so certain, but getting smoked by a fucking Andrei Rublev and Alexei Popyrin, exhibition or not, that's fucking worrying, man. That's so worrying. It really is. Davidovich Fokina's been sand this year, man. You know, from what we've had out of the pair of them overall, it's fairly somewhat similar. 14-8 is that for Davidovich Fokina and 10-6 for Ben Shelton. Personally, I've been a lot more impressed with Davidovich Fokina. He should have had a fucking title this year. Should have had. I can't believe he still has not got a title to his name. You stupid bastard. How did you lose that Delray Beach final, man? Like that. That could have been the start of something else for this guy. It really could have been. Look, it hasn't made a difference to him because he then went on another run and ended up getting beat by Thomas Mahac in Acapulco. We had Mahac on the outright, did we not? Yeah. Shout out the Acapulco squad. Shout out the Jack Draper squad as well, because he's playing this week. How far he'll get, I'm not too sure. I don't know. One of his last 4, that was against Struff. You know, we are transitioning over to the clay, so it's the same goes for Shelton. I imagine if both of these are struggling with the same and they're dealing with the same sort of variables, I would imagine Davidovich Fokina is probably a little bit more trustworthy on the surface, if we could say that. I don't know. I'm not picking it with much conviction. Like I've said a few times, and I'll say it for the final time for tonight. First round, folks, cannot stress it enough. For those that have been involved for a while, you already know, but for those that are new, and we have had quite a few new people subscribing over the past week, it's like the cardinal rule over here. The main commandment of the channel. You just take it easy on the first round. Yeah, don't be going fucking nuts. Be sensible. So whether you want to believe it or not, half of these probably don't deserve to be here. And some of these, you know, doesn't matter how much you think someone's nailed on to win. He could easily turn up, and then after an hour and a half, you go, you know what? This guy didn't even fucking try. It happens every week. Does it not, folks? Folks, back me up. Every week in the first round, there's always something, isn't it? There's always some fuckery. And it's always when you least expect it. So be sensible. Approach it all with severe caution. That's going to do us for tonight. I apologise if I've bored the shit out of you, but it has to be done sometimes, doesn't it, folks? Very well then. I'll be saying good night to you. You take it easy, yeah. You take care of yourselves, you take care of one another. Best bets, outright, everything in the comments. Get yourself involved. Get yourself involved. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's super late once again. See you in a bit, yeah. Discuss it amongst yourselves. Let's go get that cash today. Enjoy the Monte Carlo Masters. See you tomorrow.